Morning, everyone. I think we're ready to start. Just a couple of fair warnings before. We start. First of all, I'm a business journalist. I'm not a science journalist, or much least a scientist or a follower of. So please go easy on the scientific jargon and IT jargon when we come to the question section. Secondly, I forgot my glasses at home, so when you do ask your questions, please don't just raise your arm. Actually wave. It'll make it a lot easier to identify you in the audience. So we have a very interesting topic, very timely topic, I think, and I think a very exciting panel here. Let me start with the lady, Mary O'Donovan. She's the Director of Human Resources at HOVIONE, a pharmaceuticals company here in Portugal. You're an Irish national, living in Portugal, so you're a bailout country
From one bailout country to another, yeah.
You're a bailout specialist at this point in time, I imagine. Over 20 years experience in global human resources and organizational development, so hands-on knowledge of what's going on in business and recruiting. To my left, we have Guilherme Ramos Pereira, who's representing Outsourcing Portugal, a very interesting association that I'm just become familiar with. Your education was in the US, secondary education in the US, professional experience in Spain and France in multinational companies such as Philips Electronics, so also hands-on knowledge. And Celso Amorim, further down, PhD at the University of Bonn, researcher and entrepreneur. Your bio said that you lived in 7 countries in 12 years, so I'm very curious what you can teach us about that, how to achieve that. You're working on a postdoc at Faculdade de Ciências in Lisbon. Discovered, characterized, and evaluated bioactivity of 14 new natural products. I think that's a great thing to have on your resume. So, experience in science, entrepreneurship. So, I think we have a good panel. As I said, Mary, do you want to start?
Sure. I've actually prepared a short presentation, so I'll go to this. I think firstly, thank you for giving me the opportunity to participate in such an auspicious occasion. I think it's very important to highlight straight away, I'm not a scientist. And you can probably guess from my accent, I'm not Portuguese. So that normally breaks the ice. I am currently the head of human resources with HOVIONE. I'm not too sure if some of you know the organisation, but yes, I'm an Irish national now living in Portugal. I joined my organisation 4 years ago in Ireland, and 2 years ago I was given the opportunity to move to Portugal to head up the human resources function. So I'm not too sure if most of you know the climate in Ireland, but the opportunity to move to Lisbon and to Portugal was too good to turn down. And I also got an opportunity to work with an organisation that I very much believe in. So I hit the jackpot. I have 20 years experience. I know it's hard to believe, I don't look it, but anyway, global human resources experience. What I hope I can bring today is not just a view from Portugal. I have a lot of experience in recruitment in terms of graduate right up to senior management, and I've worked with a variety of organisations both in the pharma and non-pharma sector. So I think I can bring a more broader business perspective to this topic today. It's also important, I'm very much sided to industry. All right, so I'm heading up my human resources function. I work for an organisation that prides itself in delivering value to the customer, and we're always looking at top level talent that we can work on and using collaborations with universities to support that also. But I will take a very industry perspective on the topic today. As you can see, I have a broad experience in terms of talent management, organisational design, training and development, and coaching. Coaching is one of my preferred areas, and I was getting very excited on how the conversation was going on the previous panel, because it's something very, very close to my heart in terms of preparing the PhD graduate for if industry is an area where you want to go, what is really involved. And as an employer and somebody who actually prides themselves in recruiting PhD graduates, in having a high percentage of graduate recruitment in our organisation, it is very, very important that the PhD students or graduates entering the workforce actually have that broad level of skill set. And I think we will touch base a little bit more on it during the debate today. So I'm a member of the Chartered Institute of Personal Development, which is basically keeps me on top of where we're going in the organisation. And I got my degree from the National College of Ireland, which is a specialist college in human resources and industrial relations. So I also got to work with the other side of the business. In terms of HOVIONE, who are we? We're a science-based company providing development and manufacturing services for the pharmaceutical industry. I think what's important is we are a Portuguese company. And we are still very much grounded, and we have very, very incredible strong roots here in Portugal, and we continue to grow. We're privately held, which means that we don't have external shareholders really to keep happy. And I think one of our advantages, especially in terms of being a Portuguese company, we're diverse and we have a global leadership. So even though we have very strong roots in Portugal, we understand the importance of the influencing factors of different leaders, from a broader global perspective. We're not significantly large, especially compared to the large to pharma groups, but so we have about 1,250 employees globally. Our customers, it's predominantly the biotechs, medium and speciality plus large pharma, and our revenues, they speak for themselves. They continue to grow, and I think it's important in the face of adversity, in the face of the crisis in Portugal, as an organisation, we do continue to grow. We do continue to recruit. And I think that's really, it's a very important message to put across, especially in such an environment as this, when we're about to talk about our organisations recruiting. Can graduates get jobs? Yes, they can. They may not be as prevalent, they may not be as common, but the opportunities are there. And hopefully throughout the debate today, we can actually give you some additional tools or information on how to kind of, step up in terms of the competition. So quickly, our mission, it's very important to us as an organisation that we do, stipulate this. So HOVIONE, it's to passionately turn any challenge into a solution. So it's very much a problem-solving organisation by collaborating with our partners and to develop great medicines. Okay, so that's the mission, that's the foundation, that's the basis of where we work from. We look at areas such as API manufacture, particle design and formulation, and we're continually looking at new technologies. So we really want to keep ahead of the bar in terms of competition, and we'd like to consider ourselves in some niche areas the leaders. Okay, so what do? We focus on exclusives, we have inhalation, particle design and generics. So we started off in the generics area, and as our organisation has grown, so has our value proposition to our customer. And what is that? So we provide high technology products and innovative services to the pharmaceutical industry. So it's not boring. The really good thing about working for HOVIONE is that, it actually is very interesting, and we challenge you. We look at areas in terms of chemistry, particle design and formulation. So if you look at the three areas, that's where we predominantly where our strengths are, is in the API, particle design, formulation, with movement towards the safety and efficacy and then the marketing areas, but not predominantly based on such. But we offer a fully integrated we are a fully integrated service provider for our customers. And finally, it's not just in Portugal, we are global. You know, one of the good things as an employer, you know, we offer you the opportunity of, you know, the chance to travel, to experience different cultures, different organizations. We have an R&D center in the TTs in New Jersey in US. We have an R&D center in Shanghai, and then our headquarters then is based here in Lourdes in Lisbon. Finally, and I just want to end on this because it's very important that as an organisation, you know, when we're given an opportunity, that we transmit what is important to us and what our values are. So just a high level, we are principled, we do think differently, but most of all, we deliver. Okay, so we provide uncompromising quality, and we are totally committed to our customers in terms of support provisions. And that's it from me, from HOVIONE.
Okay. So I'll go now very briefly. I represent the Portuguese Outsourcing Association, and outsourcing as outsourcing of ICT, communication technology, and business processes and business transformation processes based on technology. So we don't look at scientists, we look at engineers. Let me just start by saying that it's actually fantastic to be here this morning. I'm having a fantastic morning because I had the privilege to start off at 8 o'clock at the Fundação Champalimau, which I'm quite sure you all know, where we hosted together with ICEP, the Portuguese agency to capture direct investment in Portugal. We hosted a morning session with the president of the most relevant technological hub in Sweden that came to Portugal to listen to us and to learn from us. So we were able to be out there and to sell Portugal, to show him what we can do so well. And obviously Fundação Champalimau is a privilege to have, and it's definitely an extreme privilege to show and demonstrate at what stake we can actually, you know, put things in and play in the global field. Now I'll move on to thanking 3M Forum for the invitation that has been sent to us, because again, Portugal Outsourcing, the association, we represent 19 of the largest technology-based companies that perform in Portugal, both Portuguese and multinationals, that somewhere in time, and just like HOVIONE, looked at Portugal as a place to invest on and to develop services and to research at. The goal of this association I represent is to create business for the private companies that believe in it. By creating business, of course, I mean to create profit. But the added value or the value proposal of our services bring rationalization of resources, brings efficiency, and brings cost reduction to the clients. And these are public clients and private companies, of course. So these 19 companies got together, and amongst us we have IBM, we have Accenture, we have Deloitte, we used to have Cisco Systems, but they're now diversed and they'll be back joining us next year. So we have global major companies that wanted to sit down together and to promote a sector that they believe they should invest on in Portugal, because Portugal does have a set of features that will necessarily make us perform very well in the global radar in terms of a country that is innovative, has got very good infrastructure, has got very good and highly recognized skills, meaning in terms of quality of the skills, innovation level of the skills, even the simple language proficiency plays a huge role in this business. And at the same time, in terms of a near-short perspective of our geography in the world, we play a very relevant role as well. So these companies 4 years ago found out that all together we could develop and raise a case and become competitive. But then we came to a point that you really gotta be passionate to believe in this, because there is a lot that has to be done in our country, and a lot that has to be done. Or by saying this, what I mean is, in order for you guys to stay in Portugal, to invest your lifetime, your career, your future in Portugal, in order for the companies to stay here and invest here and hire you, in order for the universities to understand who should they invest on and who should they not invest on, there's a lot of things there are a lot of things to be coordinated, that must be coordinated and put in place in order for us to have a strong country approach to the world. We are not there yet, but a lot of things are being done and very well done. We are being now endorsed by global reference analysts, saying that we are on the starting point of raising awareness worldwide for a lot that can be done here. We totally lack marketing. I know that it's got nothing to do with you guys in terms of your training and so on, and your drive, but we lack marketing. I need the world to know that you're here. I need the world to know that our universities are launching, state-of-the-art people to the markets. And I need the world to know that the companies that perform from Portugal are actually performing rocket science and state-of-the-art stuff throughout the world. I mean, we all carry some sort of an Apple thing on our hands today, and we have hundreds of engineers, all sorts of levels in terms of bachelors and so on, and PhDs. We have hundreds of people working for such brands. We have the top multinational companies that perform in the oil business, hiring engineers in Portugal, not taking them to Brazil or to Norway or to Scotland, but working on offshore projects, working from Portugal and providing services to those countries. So there are a lot of opportunities, not as many as there should be. We're working on it. All the companies are working on it. HOVIONE is surely one of the companies we once in a while referentiate as a company that has looked at Portugal and invested here and provides services throughout the world. So I think we have such a great country with so very many conditions to perform so very well. But we got to play it all together. We need to approach universities to the companies, and we need to have the students in between mostly interested in playing their role as well for the country. I mean, you cannot be on the end line waiting for the companies to get together with the universities to understand what's then going to happen in terms of business opportunities or career opportunities, and then, beautiful, it's going to be out there, and schools are not compromised with us. But at the very end, we were talking about as resources, and many times I come across people that couldn't care less. They're just waiting for things and complaining on things. So I think the motto or the name of the conference today says it all. I mean, we got to play a lot of very relevant parts together. Should we not be able to do it, we're not going to go anywhere. I would just finish by saying something that has been mentioned before, which is extremely relevant and is definitely a concern for you. It is a concern for us, associations of companies. It is a concern for companies. We do not have a public policy on capturing talent and making sure that the talent stays in Portugal. We do not have a culture. It is a cultural thing. We do not have a culture that tolerates failure. And you are in a field of work and activity that you need to be able to fail in order to move ahead to the next step and fail less and fail less and fail less. We don't. I did hear from a government representative very shortly ago that such a policy, it was very difficult to be put in place at this very moment because of the social and economic crisis we are facing, because of the fact that the public opinion, is said, would not allow some people to have benefits, and our counter opinion was either I have no people coming to Portugal, therefore not paying taxes, or I have the very best people coming to Portugal and allowing them to fail once, twice, and very shortly be able to pay taxes. What do you want to go for? Because in the meantime, I know a lot of cities that are going to steal these people from us. So the talent is going to fade away and is going to get out of here.